Ever have a time in your business where you grow, and then you hit a plateau and you're stuck? I think there's a key feature you need to add to your business, and that is how to delegate. For many of us, running a business feels like we're constantly putting out fires and we feel like we burn the candle at both ends. And I think a lot of times we feel like that's what we have to do to keep things going. But here's the real truth. You will not grow until you master the art of delegation. I know delegation is a struggle and it's hard to do. It has to be me, but it's a skill that you can develop. So let's dive into how do we delegate effectively without stress and without fear of losing our business or losing control of our business. Remember to like, share, and hit the icon button. And here we go. What delegation is and what delegation isn't. First of all, delegation is not simply handing off a task that you don't like and then disappear, nor is it about never letting go of control. Effective delegation involves you recognizing your team's skills and abilities and trusting them with more responsibilities. How many times is it hard to let go? Nobody does it as good as I do, right? But when you transfer your passion and your drive to the right team members, it allows everyone to shine brighter instead of having burnout. And you might be surprised at some of the ideas that your team members will come up with. You'll need to shift your mindset from doing the work to leading it. Think of yourself more as a catalyst or more like a consultant or more like a coach, and do those things instead of the muscle that's behind every task. You know, it's going to be challenging, especially at the beginning, but slowing down now to establish a solid delegation process will speed things up in the long run. So many times if you slow down, you do things that you need to do so that you can speed up. So 5 benefits of delegation. When they're done correctly, here are some things that delegation can really help. Number 1, I think we're all interested in this. Lighten your load. Reduce your stress. Focus more on strategy and vision. This might even free up time for a personal getaway, which all of us need to take from time to time. Number 2, increase ownership. Boost project ownership and loyalty within your team. They will feel more of a part of it if they're allowed to be a part of it. Number 3, foster growth. Provides a pattern for the team members to learn new skills and to grow. And if they're growing, they're engaged. Number 4, activate momentum. Make your team faster, stronger, and better because you're letting them do more things. Number 5, it will boost morale. It will show your team that you believe in them, which will strengthen them, and it'll make your team feel more united. So in the end, watching your team perform tasks as well, or maybe better than you are, this can be incredibly rewarding. Your transformational leadership will inspire and develop others. They will know you believe in them and that you can help them be better than they are. So why do leaders struggle with this delegation? Despite its benefits, many leaders avoid delegation or do it poorly. Common excuses begins that you hear all the time says, it takes too long to teach someone else. I can just do it faster myself. Or nobody can do it as well as I can. I'm like the best. I still enjoy doing the task. A lot of times that's just a cop-out because you're not going to make the change that's needed because that change is painful. Or I can't risk losing control. So many people in our business are control freaks and they are worried about losing control. But it boils down to 2 main issues: not having the right people to delegate to and being a control freak. So I think if you recognize what these issues mean, that you can also fix them. You can learn to delegate properly and gradually extend trust to your team members, just like, your parents did when they first handed you the car keys. I can remember that, the first time I could drive, no kids in the car. So there's a training process and we've got to help them get there so that the trust is developed. Okay, so how do you delegate like a pro? You're going to have to categorize your tasks. So let's look at the work that's done. First, consider the work you're good at and love. Does it give you energy? The second piece of work that you have is work that you're bad at and you hate. Does it drain you and you are bad at it is what goes into that category. The third category is work that you're good at, but you really don't love. Is there someone else who can do it that would be more driven or would love and be engaged and passionate about that task? And then there's work you're bad at, but you like. And there's probably somebody that can do it better and faster. And so get somebody who's skilled in that. So the sweet spot for you is the first category. And sometimes if that third category that I talked about could be important, since there's always some work that you have to do. But that first one, do the things that you love and like, that give you energy. Delegate all of the other categories that we talked about. You have to effectively identify the team member who will show integrity and be competent in that skill set. Now we have to find the right people. Sometimes that's the hard part. But look for team members who are consistent and reliable. To be competent isn't just about completing tasks, but doing it correctly, managing details, respecting budgets, and respecting people. If they're going to be delegation-worthy individuals, there's got to be integrity. They've got to be the same person with the same behavior in any situation. If they're going to be competent, how the task is accomplished, or problem solved correctly, they've got to have character, the ability to meet the demands of reality, honest and trustworthy. And we also have to understand their limitations. Know when to ask for help. I think a good team member, that's one of the keys, is so many times we don't want somebody to know what we don't know, right? So let's show consistent excellence and diligence. They should be courageous enough to bring you bad news when necessary, because the sooner you get bad news, the better you can deal with it. They need to communicate clearly. Make sure you communicate clearly so that when you delegate, make sure your expectations are clear. Define the task, what's important. Explain why you chose that person and how it connects to their career goals. You would commit to them that you'll coach them and thoroughly provide the necessary resources and training. And then, like always, practice. Perfect practice makes perfect. And so you want to practice correctly. So teaching, coaching, giving feedback, this 3-step process will be effective for coaching with your team so that you can really feel good about delegation. Demonstrate the task with the member. Let them see and ask questions, but show them how it's done. And then let them perform the task and then coach them as they do it. Ask them if you can provide feedback either during the task or afterwards, but I think permission is huge. And then finally, the third piece, let them do the task alone, checking in periodically, and this provides accountability and trust. So don't be afraid of that. Those are 3 good keys. So do's and don'ts. Be direct, be constructive, be kind, empower them, trust your team. Do communicate delegation and make sure it's clear to the team. Don't be sarcastic with your feedback. Don't micromanage. Sometimes we find ourselves in a position we don't have the right people, so we have to think outside the delegation box. If you're in that situation, think about outsourcing or maybe automating, or sometimes we need to eliminate tasks. So if you outsource, be careful. I think you should always automate when it's possible, and really critically access if a task is truly necessary in your business. So mastering delegation is crucial for your business growth. It might be challenging initially, but with patience and practice, you'll find it is one of the most rewarding leadership skills to develop. I kind of think of it this way. You have the bus of your business. You've got to find the right people to get on the bus. You get the right people on the bus, you got to get them in the right seat so that bus can go down the road and be efficient and proficient. And you will build a business that is so rewarding and continues to grow as you continue to delegate. Go tackle delegation. See you next time.